Hey guys, this is Gary from Grey Wolf 556, and I want to talk to you today a little bit about something that happened to me probably 20 years ago. Last time we talked, I told you about how I came back to the Lord, and this is one of the incidents that prompted me on that journey, prompted me to take that final step. So anyways, to set the background, I was working in a cardiac Cath Lab. I was an X-ray tech, a radiographer by trade, and I had specialized training in cardiovascular imaging. And so I was working in a cardiac Cath Lab. I was a team leader in our lab. We had call teams of 4 people on each team. Usually we had 2 nurses and 2 techs, and we just rotated positions around throughout the day. My team happened to be on call that day, and we had just come back from lunch, and the person who was running the board came and told us we've got an emergency coming in. So we got the room set up, and when the patient got there, we found out that it was a 41-year-old male with a previous cardiac history who had been out off-grid logging with his father. They were working away out in the woods, and I'm just going to call them Junior and Pops because, like I said, it was 20 years ago. I don't remember names, and it would be a HIPAA violation to use their names anyway. So anyway, Junior started having chest pains. So knowing his son's previous cardiac history, the 2 of them got in Pop's truck, Pop's old beat up truck, and headed to the hospital. Well, it took them about 20 minutes to get from where they were off-road to the main road. By then, Junior had slumped over and passed out in the front seat of the truck. So Pop got to the main road, stopped the truck, and tried to flag someone down. Apparently he didn't have a cell phone back then. Tried to flag someone down to get some help, and nobody would stop. So he got back in the truck and headed toward the emergency room. Got to the emergency room where we were waiting for him, and when Junior got to us, his blood pressure was like 68/30, and his heart rate was around 28. If you know anything about medicine, or if your doctor tells you that that's your blood pressure, you're in trouble. Those numbers are not conducive to life for much longer. So we got to work. One of the techs that was with us was doing the monitoring, where they sit in the control room and they watch the EKG and the blood pressure, and they document everything that's going on in the procedure. 2 nurses that were on my team, one was getting medications, one was getting equipment, and I was scrubbed in. I was gowned and gloved and working alongside the physician who was doing the majority of what was going on, making all the decisions. And so we went in and we put in a catheter, which is a little tube about the size, it's a hollow tube about the size of a pencil lead, a number 2 pencil lead. And we inject X-ray dye, contrast media, to outline the blood vessels. And if you see any blockage where it's just kind of cut off or narrowed down area, that's where you can put a stent or a balloon or medication to dissolve the clots, or whatever you find. So we looked around, and there's 3 main arteries in your heart, and we looked, and we didn't find what's called the culprit lesion, the main blockage that's causing the heart attack. So the physician decided we're going to put a stent, which is kind of a little scaffolding about the size of a spring and a ballpoint pen. And so we put a stent in there in the main artery, the left main, going to the left anterior descending. just in hopes that something would change. And all the while, the nurses are getting medications and they're pumping medications in, and they're still working hard to get this guy's blood pressure up and get his heart rate back up to a level where he's going to have a chance to live. To no avail. So after probably an hour and a half to 2 hours of working and pumping him full of meds and clot dissolving medications and this and that, and he was still, heart rate 26, 28, blood pressure 60 over 30, it just wasn't going to happen. So the physician decided he's not even going to make it up to the intensive care unit, call the family in so they can be with him when he passes. So we got the family in there, and four folks came in, and they started praying. And we just kind of stepped back and gave them their space, and we started praying. So now you've got the 9 of us in that room praying really, really hard for this guy to come back and for his blood flow to be restored. So this goes on. They're praying, we're praying, they're crying, and by then we're all crying. And this guy's 41 years old, man. He's still got. He's not even, shouldn't be even halfway done with his life yet. Anyways, they're praying, they're crying, we're praying, we're crying, and finally the doctor decides we need to get him up to the coronary care unit, or the intensive care unit. So we put him on a monitor, and we got him on the bed and got him up to the intensive care unit, and we just wished him well and wished the family well, and said we'd keep praying for him, and went on with our day. You always get emotionally. It's difficult to not get emotional when you're working in life and death situations like that. But we went on with our day, and it just so happened that weekend that my call team was on call again, and so we got called in on Sunday morning. One of the nurses and I went upstairs to the intensive care unit to get a different patient, and we saw the family of Junior up there. I figured would have passed by now. And we just, out of respect, we just said hello and, how are things going? And his mother looked at us with a big smile on her face and said, they're moving him to step down, and hopefully he can go home tomorrow. Home tomorrow? Now, I'm not talking about home to heaven home. I'm talking he can go to his house tomorrow. So Monday morning, I saw the same doctor who we worked with and who was treating him over the weekend. And I asked him, what happened that everything changed? And he just looked me dead in the eye and he says, wasn't anything we did. You can believe it's a miracle. You can believe it's, it wasn't his time. I can just tell you that I know what I saw. I know that I've seen enough death in my career in the healthcare field that I know when you're swimming against the tide, and he was swimming against the tide, and he pulled out of it. You tell me. Like the reporters say, we report, you decide. Is it a miracle? We report, you decide. But anyway, that's one of my stories from the hospital. This gentleman was brought in, all the medical books would have said that he wasn't going to make it. And 10 days later, or whatever, a week later, he was going home to his house, being discharged from the hospital. So anyway, guys, thank you for watching. I appreciate your time. You're taking the time to watch my videos. If you feel inclined, go ahead and give it a like. Subscribe if you want to see more videos. Leave me a comment. Let me know what you guys think about this. Also, if there's any other topics that you want to see me cover in future videos. So go ahead and like and subscribe. You know how YouTube works with their analytics. The more likes you get, and I hate asking for likes, but the more likes you get, the more their analytics department is going to send it out to more people. So spread the word around. So it's really important that we get the word out to the world that God is great. He does amazing things for us. All right. You guys take care. God bless you. I wish you well, and we'll see you next time. Bye.